I am here with Levi Miller, one of the stars of the great ensemble cast of Before Dawn. Excellent film. I'm sure, will get this hundreds of times a day when you're doing media, but you mentioned on your Instagram 2 months of just muddy work. What's the key to surviving the muddy work? Because I can barely
Mhm.
step on a puddle. I'm a total wimp. What was the key for you as far as surviving that? I'm not going to say ordeal, but that challenge of the mud.
Yes, yeah. Honestly, dryers came in handy a lot because the socks and they had these things called putties, which you wrap around your ankles, what they used during World War I and World War II to keep out the mud and the wet from your shoes. Because that was the big problem was the mud and the wet getting into your feet, and then your feet kind of soaking in that for 8 hours, 9 hours a day. So it was yeah, the putties and the dryers, I'd say. And also it helped, especially during like the colder parts, being with the lads and just, talking, having hot soup. It was good.
Speaking of being good, I'm sure you've seen the final cut for Before Dawn and just wondering about your overall reaction and how I'm sure, obviously not putting words in your mouth, how pleased you are with the final product because I think this movie really works.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. No, it's pretty crazy because we shot it a few years back and then kind of, in that moment for those months there, 2 months of just like you can't really tell like it's actually being filmed right now, if that makes sense. Like it's sort of like living in it, and then to actually see it all come together, now it's thrilling. It's great.
Yeah, and this it's World War One, but it's really a one big theme is about brotherhood and ties to the family and whatnot. But
Mhm.
how, looking back on these 2 months, did you feel like you formed a brotherhood with the cast and crew of this
Absolutely,
movie? Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, because they had us in like the principal cast members. We were staying in the same house as well, so we'd spend our day wet and cold on set, and then we'd come home and then like spend an evening together playing board games and talking and just often falling asleep, passing out from sore and tired and cold. But no, definitely. I knew two of the other boys already were friends of mine. So it was good to have that bond already and then to build on with the other boys was great.
Yeah, you've worked with your co-star Ed several years back with what's that?
Mhm.
Better watch out. I mean, it was
Watch out, yeah.
I really love that movie. It's just a really great cult film. Just
Oh,
from
thank
that
you.
era, I'm sure you were a youth then. You are much older now. What is the most important lesson you've learned on your acting journey from where you were back in 2016 to 2017 to where you're not even in 2021 with this film, but now where you are right now? What's the biggest part of your
Sure.
maturation? Yeah.
Uh, Probably really just to listen, I think. I think that's definitely like I'm sure it's hard to remember, being 13, 12, 14 around then, but it's definitely like just soak in the environment, soak in those moments, hear what everyone has to say when you're on set, because it's such a creative and building time to just soak it all in, enjoy it. That's a big part of it.
Yeah, I've been doing this for over 30 years. And around when I was your age, I interviewed an actor. His name's Bruce Payne. And he said one of the most important things for him as an actor, as far as growing, is traveling, learning different cultures, getting away
Mm.
from the actual job and actually, that seems like something that is a huge passion for you. Where did that grow as far as not staying in your own home, in your own comfort zone for a
Yes.
movie set and just exploring out? Where does that passion come from?
It's pretty funny because I think both the like my passion for acting and my passion for like wanting to see the world and travel. I kind of always had that when I was younger. I think it comes from Indiana Jones, which is this is sort of a crazy thing that they both foster from. Because I remember seeing like watching those films as a kid and like being really young and watching them and not really understanding this isn't real. This is acting, etc. But it's like seeing the world traveling. I was like that. That's what I want to do. I want to go see different stuff in film has allowed me to do that. Like I've been to a lot of places that I would never have. Like even for this film, like Australia is so big, and I've shot in Western Australia before, but I've shot northern Western Australia, like in the red dirt sort of like iron mining kind of area, which is so completely different to down south where we were at, which is like Arctic winds and freezing cold and like beautiful beaches. Yeah, I've been very lucky in that way.
I know you can't say too much about it, but one of my favorite filmmakers right now, this generation is JC Chandor, and I've always wondered what that mix is going to be like. What was it like on the set? I'm sure you must have learned a lot from that process working opposite Russell, but I think Chandor is just one of the unique voices in cinema right now. I don't know if you agree with that, but
Mm.
just your thoughts on working within that environment and growing through that experience.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was great. It was exactly. I did that after shooting Before Dawn, and it's interesting going from like the indie production to Sony Marvel picture. It was great.
Yeah. So right now, where you are right now, what is the key for you as staying in the moment as an actor? So lessons you've learned no matter what project you've been on. And I'm sure there's a lot of distractions around you, but how do you stay focused on whatever scene you're doing? Is there a key, or does it differ from project to project?
Uh, I think it falls back into that sort of listening thing, like remembering, you know, every moment is different. There's so much I can learn from each second, both on camera, off camera, on set, chatting with everyone and just really just soaking it in because it's such a privilege to be on set and around so many different people, different backgrounds, and that's wonderful. I
Yeah.
think about it.
Final couple questions. Before Dawn, it seemed to me from watching it, there was a lot of physicality to it. Is that just movie magic, or were you guys, I'm assuming, sore by the end of each day? Because it just seems like you guys went through the ringer
Yeah,
and it really shows up on screen.
absolutely. Yeah, we were definitely in the thick of it. The webbing we had on like the what we like where we carried like the ammunition and like the bottle of that weighed on its own, just lifting that up after being muddy and wet. You could feel like it'd leave marks there. You could feel your back just like weighted down from it. And at a few points where we're running like through the thick mud up to our high thigh, I'd say. There's a point where it got to like the torso area and you're just trying to like sludge through and so many lost shoe soles. It was yeah, it was definitely in it.
That is amazing. And final question is just two-parter. First off, can you name a movie or project from your own resume that you would like our listeners to check out? A movie that you might feel maybe overrated. What made that movie special? What makes that movie special for you? And then part B of that question is, I think you mentioned Raiders of the Lost Ark. Can you name a movie from your youth that really continues to inspire you and what makes this movie special? So
Yes,
thank you.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd say from my films, I recently rewatched Better Watch Out last Christmas. I hadn't seen it for years and years. Um, it was pretty interesting to watch. It's definitely one to not expect anything going, like just to experience it. For my own child, I already mentioned Indiana Jones. That is a pivotal one for me. I say Napoleon Dynamite kind of rings in my head at the moment. I watched that because I got two older sisters, and they loved it. Like the one's 9 years older, one's 3 years older than me. And yeah, that was one we'd always just put on. And I'd laugh and laugh. And then as I got older, laugh at different stuff during it. That's uh that's what I grew up with.
Levi, thank you so much for your time. Good luck on and congratulations
Thank
on
you.
Before Dawn.
Cheers.
All right, cheers.
Thank
Thank you.
you.